So I went ahead and started up the fire, and this fire's been going for maybe like 2 hours now. And the idea was I was gonna put these logs out. I was gonna catch these logs on fire. They're all gonna turn into like this nice hot ember bed. I was gonna spread it out through the entire pit, just because I have I have a lot of logs but not a lot of small wood. So I was gonna use these logs and make my ember bed that way. But it's burning, but not how I thought it was gonna burn. So I need to build up this ember bed, and I'm trying to decide what to do right now. What I need to do is I need to spread the little bit of ember that I do have in the middle and go ahead and spread it to the outskirts, and maybe that'll keep these logs burning. The 2 logs that right now are really just too big to really do anything with. So I'm hoping I can get these guys burning, and you can see that the embers aren't really hot because there's not any wind out right now. So the embers aren't really that hot. It's not even burning this, even though it's green. You know, it's not burning it. It should be burning it. It should be pretty hot. So I'm gonna move this guy and this guy further to the sides over here, and then I'm gonna take these coals and kind of surround the coals around these logs to hopefully keep it burning. And then I'm gonna start placing these guys into the middle so they can get heat, not just on their front side but on the back side too. So because the back sides of these are they're cool. The front side is hot, you know, I can't keep my fingers there for too long. So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so I ended up getting the logs to the side, and I think I have them in a good position right now, to where they're gonna stay burning throughout while the pottery heats up. So I put these guys, the bigger ones, to the side. Hopefully I can keep these burning. I think I'll be able to. And then I made a ring of sticks, and really all I'm trying to do is heat up the entire circle of wood so that everything heats evenly. I need to get all of my pottery heated evenly, and you can see this pot right here, just the side of it is starting to get heated up, but really the entire thing needs to be heated up at once. So I'm going to pull that back real quick before it pops. And it shouldn't pop just because there's so much temper in it, but I want to be on the safe side, and I don't want one side to get too hot just yet. So I'm going to pull that back. Alright, so I got the circle made, the wood circle made, and it's just starting to light up. And I'm thinking, I don't think I'll have enough wood to cover over top, but I think I'll have enough ember once all this is burned down a little bit to kind of maybe either take the pots out from the center, then push all the coal into the middle and then put it on top, or just gradually start pushing the coal closer and closer to the middle and until it touches the pots. So we'll see how it burns out, and then after it gets done burning, or in the process of burning, I might just try and start getting the pots closer and closer. So my main goal right now is to take it slow. I don't want to bring them up to temperature too fast. So I'm just letting it sit in the middle of this fire for right now. And I've noticed that when it gets really hot, a good point to start putting the coals in is when these black marks start popping up onto the pottery. And it's not like carbon imprint, it's like something, maybe an organic material inside of the clay has started to burn, and then it shows these like black dots on the pottery. So I think whenever they get the black dots, then I'll be able to move it in fully. It's really just on that guy because it's probably near the closest to one of the heat sources. But I mean, eventually all of these will have it. So it's just a matter of getting them heated up. Ooh, some of that just fell. But pots still look good. And it looks like some of them are already getting fire tested, so I don't think I'm gonna mess with them. I'm gonna just let them be. We'll see how it does. Hopefully it doesn't explode. Well, I might have to move that big guy because I don't think he's ready yet. Kind of afraid if I move that big pot and I'm using just this on one side, it might crack it, so I'm not going to try and move it. Alright, so it's been getting a little bit hot for the camera, but I'm still just adding on sticks to try and get even heating throughout this entire circle. So I still need to work on getting this log and keeping it burning. These guys that were being fire tested, they passed. You know, they had an extreme amount of heat on them. They didn't bust or anything like that. So still taking my time with these big guys. You can see that the big vase. So you can see they're all starting to get a little bit discolored. That just means that the pots are getting hot enough to absorb some of the smoke, like the carbon in the atmosphere. So what I want to do is I want to start moving some of these coals in. I think they're hot enough they can start touching coals. So I'm going to start trying to push these in a little bit closer. All right. So I have scrounged up every last little bit of sticks that I could find around the yard, and this is what we've got so far. The pots are still black. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but it's not hot enough for me to do horsehair style raku. And I usually like to have the color of the clay with like bits and pieces of like gradients of black, and then, you know, strong, dark, bold streaks of black lines from hair and maybe different organic materials. So I gathered as much up as I could and put it on to the fire for one last kind of burnout, and looks like it's kind of, it may get hot enough to burn off a lot of that carbon. If that all goes well, then I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna try and do a little bit of horsehair before it cools down. So let's go ahead and get to that.